having a feel of what it means to be listening to the prophets.
Now at 10, General Conference wrapping up today, well, at least day one of the spring session. We're hearing from attendees on their experience at 192nd Conference.
If we can't keep up with the pace of graduating new nurses, we're going to be at this for a while.
And a shortage of nurses here in Utah. Hundreds of open positions across the state. How the University of Utah hopes to help fill the gaps.
And after seeing some pretty nice weather for today, tomorrow into the early stages of next week will bring the potential for wet weather in spots. We'll break down the details coming up in just a bit.
Live, we're there for you. ABC4 News at 10 starts now.
And good evening, it's great to have you with us on this Saturday night. I'm Nick McGurk. And we do start tonight, well, downtown Salt Lake City, the 192nd Annual General Conference. And for the first time in 2 years, that conference in person, but at half capacity. Now, although the conference center has room for 21,000 people due to concerns with construction and parking near Temple Square, only 10,000 tickets were issued this session. Still, many of the members we spoke with today that were attending conference shared their excitement in having it in person again. Our ABC4's Kayla Baggerly has more.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints had its last general conference that was open to the public October 2019 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But now for the 192nd Annual General Conference, members are invited to attend again. Colleen and Hiva Olive say they listen to conference talks year-round, and they were grateful for the opportunity to see it in person.
Just to be able to come into the actual building where these talks are held and be able to be in the same room as the brethren and our beloved prophet is, it's a blessing.
Some people traveled for the conference.
Yeah, I'm from all the way from Ghana.
She says it was her first time attending in person.
Looking at them, listening to them, in fact, talking about change of heart, I think if I'm in the stage of good, I'll strive to be better, and if I'm better, I'll strive to be the best.
Others also experienced conference in person for the first time, like Magnus Otugun Jr., who performed with the BYU Idaho Choir.
But now it's like a different feel, you get to feel it very well. I felt so inspired.
David and James' daughter have been to the conference center multiple times in the past and are grateful for the experience to return after such a long break.
As getting the opportunity to hear that in person, but what a wonderful opportunity to come back together and be together to hear the word of the Lord and experience just the opportunity to be members in person together.
To feel the spirit there is much greater than being at home.
There were 12 new leaders announced today, including 6 General Authority 70s, a new Relief Society, and primary general presidencies. There will be 2 more sessions of conference tomorrow morning and afternoon. Reporting from Salt Lake City, Kayla Baggerly, ABC4 News.
Back in person again. Well, you can hear the sounds there. A lot of people coming into downtown Salt Lake. Thomas Giboy, a very nice day for General Conference.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day, and we're going to get some pretty nice weather in downtown Salt Lake City again tomorrow. And if you're in downtown Salt Lake City, chances are, if you go up by the Capitol, you're going to be able to see our beautiful cherry blossoms. Thanks to Mandy McCoy for sending that one. And then for this evening in St. George, Brody WX captured this beautiful sunset. So we had some beautiful views across the state. We will see some changes tomorrow, but we'll talk more about that in just a moment. In the meantime, got this beautiful view from Park City Mountain. You have the twinkling stars and the bit of cloud coverage that we had a little while ago in northern Utah that has since moved down into central and southern Utah. But those daytime highs, it felt very spring-like. We got to 67 in Salt Lake City. It was 68 in Cedar City and 80 degrees in St. George. We're cooling off rather nicely for the time being, where those temperatures are now in the 40s in Logan, 50 degrees for the most part along the Wasatch Front, and even dropping to the 50s down in St. George. Tonight's forecast going to see that overnight low in the upper 30s and low 40s in Salt Lake City and 52 in St. George. And then tomorrow we got a quick moving system that's going to bring us to a chance for valley rain and mountain snow in southern Utah, along with the potential for a few thunderstorms as well. But we'll go ahead and break down these details coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes. And don't forget, if you want to take your weather with you on the go, download the Pinpoint Weather app. Go to the Apple App Store or Google Play or scan the QR code right there on your screen.
All right, Thomas, thanks so much. Well, new at 10, 5 police cars damaged as a man leads Brigham City Police and Highway Patrol on a chase that ends near Willard. ABC4's Bob Bador following this story. Joining us live in Studio B. Bob, what are we finding out tonight?
Well, Brian, I spoke with Brigham City Chief of Police Chad Reyes, and he admitted that things got a little wild on this one. Now, it all started at the Brigham City Sports Complex, where a father and son were harassed by a man who threatened them. They alerted police, who then found the man in his car, still at the park. Police say he then drove off quickly. And that's where the chase started. Reyes said that the suspect, later identified as 47-year-old Brandon Chappell, was looking like he was going to surrender, but then reversed his car, causing officers to dive out of the way as his car struck their vehicle. The chase resumed through Brigham City and Perry, with 2 more cars being damaged. On southbound I-15, UHP officers were able to stop Chappell, damaging a 4th car in the process. And while in custody, Reyes said that Chappell was still combative and damaged the windshield of a 5th vehicle with his forehead, smacking the window. Now, Chief Reyes said that Chappell was taken to the hospital and will be booked after he is cleared. Charges are still being added up, but Reyes said that he is facing at least 4 counts of aggravated assault, failure to stop, and those life threats. Now, we'll update this story as we learn more. Reporting live in Studio B, I'm Bob Bedore.
Okay, thanks, Bob. And staying in northern Utah, where a teenager is dead after a rollover crash. According to Box Elder County Sheriffs, this happened last night just before 11 p.m. on East Promontory Road, where they responded to a single rollover crash. Now, police say there were 5 teens in the car between 15 and 19 years old. Box Elder County officials say this investigation is ongoing. Now to the fallout in Ukraine. Officials say Russian troops, they're retreating and that the area around Kyiv has been liberated. But Ukrainian President Zelensky is still calling on the West to send more weapons as his country braces for a potentially difficult battle against Russian forces in the Donbas region along Ukraine's border with Russia. Now to Houston, where an attempted theft of a pricey car part leaves 1 officer dead. According to authorities there, it happened when an off-duty sheriff's deputy was trying to stop an attempted theft of a catalytic converter from his vehicle. Now, Darren Almendarez and his wife, they were just leaving the grocery store when they noticed 3 men by their car. Police say Almendarez went to confront them, but they opened fire. Almendarez, again off-duty, firing back, hitting 2 of the men, but he himself was killed.
Told his wife to run, to get away from danger, as he put himself in harm's way to protect the rest of the community and to try to stop a crime.
And of course, this trend is happening throughout the country. Authorities say thieves can make up to $300 per converter. Now, Houston police calling their colleague a fighter and that he died while protecting his wife. Back home, Unified Fire Authority, they've got a new fire chief. Dominic Burchett was sworn in this afternoon in Riverton. Now, he becomes the 14th fire chief in the agency's 100-year history. UFA says Chief Burchett brings extensive operational and leadership experience in fire protection. Also, he's helped lead 5 station rebuild projects and a seismic retrofit, they say, of all existing UFA stations. Well, the University of Utah is increasing the number of nursing students it will accept by 25%. The dean of the College of Nursing says they're doing this to address a nationwide nursing shortage, but even with this move, she says things will likely get worse before they get better. 20 U.S. Navy members filling in at the University of Utah Hospital. This happening during the peak of the Omicron variant.
And our patients were lucky to have you. Thank you.
This is just one of the many examples we've seen during the pandemic, showing how desperate the nursing shortage is here in the U.S.
Patients not getting the care that they need in a timely manner, or not the attention that they would like from a nurse because a nurse is spread too thin.
That is why University of Utah Dean of the College of Nursing, Marla DeYoung, says they are expanding enrollment. But she says they still have to turn away around 100 qualified applicants each year.
It is frustrating because each of these individuals is a person. They have their goals of being a nurse, and we don't have room for all of them.
While she says some schools don't have enough applicants, the bigger issue she sees is not having enough instructors and places where her students can get the required 900 clinical hours.
That's a lot of hours.
DeYoung says time is not on their side, with 1 in 5 Utah nurses approaching retirement age. And unfortunately, she says it will likely get worse before it gets better.
If we can't keep up with the pace of graduating new nurses, we're going to be at this for a while.
A very real problem. The University of Utah says there are more than 2,500 open nursing positions just here in the Beehive State. So if you're interested in applying, The U is still accepting applications for next spring. If you want details, we've got them on our website, abc4.com. Well, the Utah Pride Center celebrating today, back in person after a couple of years operating virtually. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary. The center now offering in-person mental health services. We spoke with Jessica Dumar of the Pride Center. She tells us she wants people to know they have a safe space for support.
I am just so excited about the opportunities to put equity practices into place, to revitalize this community.
And she says it's really all about encouraging people to come back to the Pride Center and remember the purpose of that center that's always been there. Coming up in this newscast, Sarah Palin hoping to make a political comeback. Her journey back into politics and some of the challenges ahead. Plus, from snow sports to water sports, how folks enjoying some time on the mountain for a good cause.